but that club was the person that sent me the message was not the president of this particular club. Just an admin. So this is what happened with that response. After I posted what I said, the first thing you see is not the place for that kind of discussion. Post on your own timeline. Yeah. One of the arguments was it doesn't matter what your point is. Why did you make it? Why didn't you make it on your timeline? I did. I shared it on my thing, and then I shared it to the clubs. So yeah, not really the point. I finally responded where I was like, the simple title and video and image of my video is not enough to remove it. You have to watch it to know the context, because context means everything, and something like that. You can't just be like, oh, well, that's offensive to me or someone, so I got to take it down, because anybody could be offended by anything. I care about women's disc golf. Clearly you do not, because I'm talking about women's disc golf and sports in general. And then this person proceeds to say, we don't want to discuss the issue on that forum. Well, who's to say that it's divisive? I mean, maybe there are people in the club that are okay with that being there and want to hear things like that, want to hear an opposing side of their own viewpoint. You can't just cancel things like that just because you think that it's going to be offensive, or in this case, what I feel is just because they disagree with it. You don't compete against any men who used to be women. You have no place to talk. He says, I said, hold my lipstick, bitch. I can do that too. You know, kind of like when someone says, like, you can't do this. Okay, well, hold my beer. You know, it was just me being silly and fucking just over the top of it. But it was taken the wrong way, and I probably didn't present it the right way, because your inflections don't go through via messaging and stuff like that. That's why I hate this kind of stuff. I prefer talking to persons and, you know, that kind of a thing. But you know, I was wrong for that. You know, it was meant to be a joke, and it was a stupid joke, whatever. Yeah, I'll take the flag on that. I was wrong. Go to the person that originally had sent me the message about that, the admin, immediately was like, are you serious? Clearly this was your entire goal. Your ability to have a respectful and productive conversation lasted all of 1 hour over a simple joke that was taken out of context, because again, context does matter. It took less than an hour to go straight into a shit show. It really didn't. It really wasn't that bad. And now you're just being overly sensitive just to write me off as though I'm so offensive and I'm so wrong because I made a joke. Like, get real. Come on now. Grow up. I mean, please go look at this and see that everything that was there, it was not that bad. The whole my lipstick bitch thing was the one moment during this whole thing where I was like, alright, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that, because I was just being silly and trying to be like, alright, well, you know, I can, whatever, get my point across some way. I can do a better job of getting my point across than that. So I meant this. This person is only saying what's trying to save their own face and the club's face at the sacrifice of someone that has been a loving member of the club and the sport. And I don't think he haven't actually even watched my video. So yeah, there's that. I really don't feel like he did. And then he just says, ignorance is ignorance. Have you ever even spoken to a transgender human about the topic you feel so passionately about? What do I have to speak to them about it for? There's no reason. What am I going to get out of that? Did you used to be a man? Were you born a male?
Yeah.
End of conversation. There's nothing to talk about. I'm not talking about who you feel you are. I'm talking about what you actually are, what you biologically are. That's the whole point of this thing. It isn't about how people feel. People can feel however they want to feel, but that's subjective. Okay, is the earth round or flat? Is that subjective? No, it's not. Get real. Have an actual argument. Don't just come and attack me like I'm so wrong for making a joke, or I'm not caring about other people's feelings. Like, get real. Like, come on, man. We're human beings. We have feelings, and not all of our feelings are vindicated or validated or whatever. They're not. If you want to have a conversation with someone that matters to the topic at hand. I would love to talk to a real woman about this that actually feels this way. If anyone's willing to do that, we don't have to mention your name or even show your face, but I would love to talk to someone that actually agrees with me on this in disc golf. Here we go. You resorted to name calling and jokes in the first back and forth. I had one joke and one name. I didn't call him a bitch. It was, oh my God. Good Lord. Get over it. And yes, I have done my research. I have looked at things. I've looked at both sides of the whole thing. I'm not a one-sided argument type person. It's very difficult for me to just pick one side with things because I can always see both sides. That's why I feel comfortable talking about these kinds of things, because I'm able to admit when I'm wrong about something and say, all right, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, all right, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I didn't know that cisgender was in the dictionary. Did you know that? I did not know that. So that was interesting. I learned that later. Funny, it's always men arguing about this topic. It's always men. Why is that funny? So now you can tell jokes, but I can't? It's funny that men are arguing about this? So I asked this person, what's your point of view? And they say, all I will say is, if it was my son or daughter, I sure as hell wouldn't want them to be treated like trash and like they don't matter. Where the fuck have I said anything about not treating them like they don't matter? Because we could argue the same thing as being on the other side. There are women that disagree that transgender women should be in their sport, but they're being completely ignored. Watch the last video. Google it and look it up. There are women that feel this way. They're being told it doesn't matter what you feel. They're being treated like trash. Okay? They're being treated like trash. Watch my videos. I did not say anything disrespectful about transgenders. We can respect them. We treat them like they're human beings. But when you bring in your biology by going into an athletic event, your biology matters. Not just whether your skill level and you're stronger, you're faster or whatever, but the fact that you are a biological male. I don't care about your skill levels. If it's less than the average male, I don't care about that. You're a biological male. The earth is round. And then why do they not deserve, she says, why do they not deserve to be respected the same as everyone else? Respect. I respect them the same as everyone else. Sports that's where I'm saying that you have to have respect on both sides. It's all about, oh, you hate them, you don't respect them, they're real, you don't think they're real people. All this shit, like, you're not even listening to what anybody's saying, because all you're doing is trying to argue the same shit that everybody else does that says this stuff. You offer nothing. At least I have something. At least I'm talking about it. Jesus, you're all, like, afraid to talk about it. Like, it's a subject that has to be talked about. You can't just dance around it. That's what is bothering me right now, is everybody is being a giant wuss, afraid to talk about it. Good Lord. Because you're so afraid of what people are going to say. Like, stop being afraid of these people. They're people, too. They're human beings, too. They should be able to hear an argument against them in something that they feel and want, and not be reduced to calling you a racist or a sexist or any of this shit. That's what you get called. Like, it's stupid. Like, that's not what we're talking about. If you look up the definition of a transphobic, it's a irrational fear. Who the fuck has an irrational fear? I'm not afraid of you or transphobic. I am not afraid. I'm sitting there talking about them. I will talk to one face to face and disagree with them on this. I'm not afraid of them. You're afraid of them because you're afraid to admit that you're afraid, not me. I still love them. I still have no problem with them as human beings and who they are. No problem. Until it actually comes into sports and other things too. But you know, that's stuff like bathroom usage and stuff. That's for Congress to deal with. I'm not even going to get involved with that. I don't have any. You figure that out.